Walk into a dealership in 2026 with your guard down and congratulations, you just became lunch. The finance office does not care that you need 3 rows, car seats, groceries, and sanity. They care about turning a family sport utility vehicle into a $70,000 debt trap. Today, it is the Hyundai Palisade versus the Toyota Grand Highlander, and one of these looks like the luxury bargain of the year until the long-term math starts bleeding. The other wears the Toyota badge like body armor, but do not get smug because Toyota dealers know exactly how to weaponize that reputation. Before this is over, I'm going to show you the one top trim I would not touch without paperwork, and the hidden Year 5 cost that could vaporize thousands from your driveway. Let us protect your wallet. The Palisade is the seductive one. Hyundai knows it, the dealers know it, and the corporate accountants definitely know it because they built this thing to make you feel like you are cheating the luxury brands. On paper, the Palisade gives you a lot. Big cabin, big screens, upscale materials, available hybrid power, a family-friendly layout that feels more expensive than the badge on the steering wheel. This is the vehicle that makes people walk into the showroom and say, "Wait, why would I buy a luxury brand?" And honestly, that reaction is fair. But here's where the wallet defense starts. Hyundai depreciation is not Toyota depreciation. Historically, Palisades lose value harder than Toyota family haulers. That means the deal that feels sweet today can turn sour when you try to trade it in 5 years from now. You're not just buying a monthly payment, you're buying your future resale value. The sweet spot is the Palisade Hybrid Blue SEL Premium. That's where the math makes the most sense. You get the stronger hybrid powertrain, the comfort features families actually use, and enough luxury to feel spoiled without letting the dealer turn you upside down financially. The waste of money is a fully loaded calligraphy hybrid with dealer add-ons stacked on top. Paint protection, nitrogen tires, ceramic coating, door edge guards, all that finance office confetti. At that point, the Hyundai bargain story starts sounding like a bedtime story written by a dealership accountant. Buy the smart trim, not the ego trim. The Toyota Grand Highlander plays a colder game. It does not flirt as hard as the Palisade. It does not try to look like a bargain luxury truck. Toyota basically walks in, drops the badge on the table, and says, "You already know what this is worth." And that confidence is both deserved and dangerous. The Grand Highlander gives you gas, hybrid, and hybrid max powertrains. The regular hybrid is the one that matters for smart buyers. It gives you the space, the fuel economy, the Toyota resale strength, and the lowest long-term drama. It is not the sexy choice, it is the disciplined choice. The problem is the dealership. Toyota dealers know buyers trust this badge, so they can get cute with markups, mandatory accessories, and payment games. A Grand Highlander hybrid at sticker can be a smart buy. A Grand Highlander hybrid with thousands in junk fees becomes financial quicksand. Compared with the Palisade, the Toyota usually gives you less visual drama for the money. The cabin is not as flashy, the design is not as premium feeling. You may sit in the Hyundai first and feel like Toyota is being stingy. But resale value is the Toyota counterpunch. When Year 5 comes, the Grand Highlander is more likely to hand you a stronger trade-in number. That matters. That is real money. The sweet spot is the Grand Highlander Hybrid XLE. Limited can make sense if you are disciplined. Hybrid Max Platinum is where your wallet starts screaming. It is fast, yes. It is impressive, yes. But if the dealer adds markup and the loan rate is ugly, congratulations, you just bought a very reliable way to lose money. This is where the Palisade hits back hard. The hybrid powertrain is not some lazy fuel economy afterthought slapped together to please regulators. It feels genuinely strong. The Palisade Hybrid uses a turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with electric assistance, and the result is a family hauler that actually moves with confidence. Around town, it feels smooth and expensive. The gas-electric handoff is calm. The cabin stays quiet. It does not feel like a science project clunking through traffic. That matters more than a spec sheet. Real owners have been praising the hybrid for its smoothness, quietness, and easy power delivery, and that lines up with how this thing is supposed to feel. You do not want a 3-row family vehicle that feels stressed every time you merge. You want confidence. You want easy passing power. You want something that does not make the whole family lean forward when the transmission panics. The Palisade Hybrid gives you that. But the gas engine version is harder to defend. The new gas powertrain is smooth enough, but it can feel heavy, slower than expected, and thirstier than buyers want in 2026. It's not terrible, it's not a disaster, but compared with the hybrid, it feels like the version built for people who didn't do enough homework. The hybrid feels peppy. The gas one feels tired. Against the Grand Highlander hybrid, the Palisade hybrid is the more satisfying drive. It has more punch, more refinement, and more of that "wow, this is nicer than I expected" energy. If you're buying with your right foot and your family's comfort in mind, Hyundai wins this round. The Grand Highlander is not trying to be dramatic. It is trying to get your family, your luggage, your snacks, and your questionable road trip playlist to the destination without drama. The regular hybrid is the wallet defender powertrain. It is efficient, calm, and simple in the way Toyota hybrids usually are. Around town, it feels smooth. In traffic, it feels relaxed. At normal family speeds, it does exactly what you need. But let us not pretend it is exciting. When you ask the regular Grand Highlander hybrid for quick highway passing, it can feel underpowered. You press the pedal, the engine gets louder, and the vehicle eventually does what you asked. Eventually. It is not scary slow, but it is not peppy like the Palisade hybrid. That is the Toyota trade-off. It protects your wallet, but it does not always entertain your soul. The Hybrid Max fixes the speed problem. That version is properly quick for a three-row family vehicle. It feels stronger, more confident, and more premium when you are merging or passing. But here comes the bill. More power means more cost, lower fuel economy, more mechanical complexity, and a much higher chance that the dealer will treat you like a walking blank check. So compared with the Palisade, the Toyota gives you two paths. The regular hybrid is the boring smart choice. The Hybrid Max is the fun expensive choice. The Hyundai hybrid sits right in the middle, giving you better punch than the regular Toyota hybrid without climbing into Hybrid Max pricing madness. If you want the best driving experience, Hyundai wins. If you want the calmer long-term ownership bet, Toyota starts pulling ahead. You might think the Hyundai is already the winner because it drives better and feels richer inside, but this is where the fancy stuff starts to make me nervous. The Palisade interior is the showroom knockout. Hyundai gives you the big curved display, modern software, comfortable seating, available captain's chairs, tons of charging ports, and a cabin that feels like it was designed by people who actually understand family chaos. Kids in the back, phones everywhere, bags everywhere. Somebody needs a charger. Somebody dropped fries. Somebody's yelling about the third row. The Palisade handles that life well. Real owners have praised the quiet ride, comfortable seats, smooth hybrid behavior, and premium feel. And I get it, this thing feels expensive. It feels like Hyundai walked into the luxury section, stole the furniture, and dared Genesis to complain. But here is the problem. When Hyundai gets ambitious, the tech can get too clever for its own good. Power folding seats, screen-based controls, software features, sensors, cameras, and electronic convenience systems all look great in the brochure. But 5 years later, when one module starts acting possessed, the owner is the one paying. And the top trims are where I get cautious. Limited and calligraphy models with the more complex power seat equipment need paperwork proving recall and software work was completed. I do not care what the salesperson says. I do not care if they smile. I do not care if they call their manager. Show the paperwork. Because this is where lazy engineering becomes your family's headache. The Palisade cabin is genuinely excellent. But the more expensive the trim gets, the more you are buying tech that can age badly. Luxury is nice, complexity is expensive. The Grand Highlander interior is not as flashy as the Palisade, let us be honest. Sit in the Hyundai first, then sit in the Toyota, and the Toyota can feel a little plain. More practical, less dramatic, less "look at me." But plain is not always bad. The Toyota cabin is built around usability. The third row is usable, the cargo area is strong, visibility is good, the layout is familiar, the controls do not feel like they were designed by a software team that hates parents. When you are driving with kids screaming in the back, you do not want to dig through a touchscreen menu just to change something simple. You want a button, you want logic, you want less nonsense. That is where the Grand Highlander scores. But Toyota does not get a free pass. For the price, some cabin materials feel too cheap. Hard plastics in a vehicle that can push deep into the $50,000 range? Come on. That is not engineering excellence, that is corporate accounting wearing a Toyota badge. And owners have not been silent either. Earlier Grand Highlander owner chatter has included complaints about phone connectivity issues, screens glitching, and dealership frustration. Are these problems universal? No, but they matter because Toyota buyers are paying for peace of mind. When the screen goes black or the phone refuses to connect in a vehicle this expensive, that peace of mind starts getting dense. Compared with the Palisade, the Toyota interior loses the beauty contest. The Hyundai feels richer, softer, and more premium, but the Toyota feels less gimmicky and more durable in spirit. The Hyundai wins the showroom. The Toyota wins the Tuesday morning school run. Fast forward 5 years. The new car smell is gone. The kids have kicked the seatbacks into another dimension. The loan may still be hanging around like a raccoon in the attic. Now, the real ownership test begins. Hyundai gives strong warranty coverage, and that is a real advantage. The first owner gets long powertrain protection, and the hybrid components get serious coverage too. That matters because modern family vehicles are not simple anymore. They are rolling laptops with engines attached. But do not confuse warranty with bulletproof. The Palisade Hybrid is a complex machine. Turbocharged engine, electric motors, hybrid control systems, big screens, driver assistance sensors, power features, software, lots of software. And software does not get cheaper when the warranty clock runs out. After 100,000 miles, the hidden costs could start showing up in electronics, suspension wear, turbo-related maintenance, sensors, cameras, and hybrid diagnostics. Even if the core vehicle is solid, the luxury features can become the money pit. That is the part people forget while they're playing with the screen in the showroom. And here's the hidden year 5 cost that scares me most: depreciation. The Palisade can be a better deal on day 1 and still punish you harder on trade-in day. That means the thousands you thought you saved up front can disappear later when the market says, "Nice Hyundai, but it's not a Toyota." That's the brutal truth. The Palisade gives you more emotion, more luxury, and more punch, but it also asks you to gamble more on resale value and long-term complexity. It might be great. It might also become a very comfortable shop queen. Fast forward 5 years in the Grand Highlander, and the story is less exciting but more calming. The Toyota may not make your neighbors stop and stare. It may not feel as plush as the Palisade. It may not give you that same "how is this not a luxury vehicle" feeling. But when you were staring at a trade-in offer, boring starts looking beautiful. The regular Grand Highlander hybrid is the long-term wallet play. Toyota hybrids have a reputation for surviving abuse, high mileage, bad commutes, and owners who treat maintenance schedules like vague suggestions. That reputation is not magic, but it is earned. And in a 3-row family vehicle, earned trust matters. The hybrid battery coverage is strong, and that gives high-mileage families more breathing room. If you plan to keep the vehicle for a decade, that matters. Hybrid battery degradation is a real concern for any hybrid owner, but Toyota has more history here, and history is what you want when your money's on the line. The Hybrid Max is the one I would be more careful with. It's faster, more fun, and more expensive. It also has more stress, more power, more heat, and more expensive long-term possibilities. That does not mean it is bad, it means it is not the cleanest wallet defense move. Insurance is another hidden knife for both vehicles. Big screens, cameras, sensors, radar systems, bumpers, lift gates, and lighting assemblies can make even a small parking lot hit painfully expensive. But Toyota's stronger resale helps soften the overall long-term hit. Against the Palisade, the Grand Highlander is not as exciting, it's not as plush, it's not as peppy, but it is the one I would rather own deep into 6-figure mileage. If this video saved you money, hit like. If you think I am completely wrong, hit dislike and tell me why in the comments because I will respond. And do not just say, "Toyota good, Hyundai bad." Give me receipts. Tell me what your dealer quoted, what trim you bought, what broke, and what you paid. That is how we beat the finance office together. Also, drop the next comparison you want below. Tell me if you want Pilot versus Grand Highlander, Telluride versus Palisade, or minivan versus 3-row sport utility vehicle. And subscribe to the second channel because the wallet protection does not stop here. Here is the brutal buyer defender verdict. The Hyundai Palisade Hybrid is the better drive, the better cabin flex, and probably the vehicle your family will like more on the test drive. If you buy one, get the hybrid Blue SEL Premium, demand a clean price, reject the junk fees, and get written proof that every recall and software update is complete. But the winner is the Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid XLE. Not the gas model, not the Hybrid Max Ego Missile, the regular hybrid XLE. It is the least dramatic and most financially defensible choice. It gives you strong fuel economy, real family space, better resale logic, and a more proven long-term hybrid story. The Palisade is the emotional pick. The Grand Highlander is the wallet pick. And around here, we defend the wallet. Buy the Toyota Hybrid XLE, negotiate like they owe you money, and never let a finance manager sell you fear in a folder.